Hello, everyone. On this podcast episode, I'm going to advise you not to compare yourself to others, and I'm going to explain how using the law of duality. In this world, we live in a world of duality, a world of equal and opposites. If you find one aspect of life, right, its equal and opposite must also exist. For example, if you find something that's tall, something short must also exist. If you find something that's in the past, something in the future must also exist. If you find something that's positively charged, something that's negatively charged must also exist. If you find something that attracts light, something that repels light must also exist. If you find something that's hot, something that's cold must also exist. And it's called duality is because there are two, hot and cold, equal and opposites. Existence and non-existence, equal and opposites. And they're always equal. And the reason why I tell you not to compare yourself to others is because you only see one aspect of life. When you see someone's life, you only see one aspect of it. You don't see the equal and opposite. If you see someone who's beautiful, right? You only see them as beautiful. You don't know that if you follow the laws of duality, because they're beautiful, they're also ugly. The opposites always exist simultaneously as one. Tall and short must exist simultaneously as one. If you find something that's tall, something that's short must also exist. If you find something that's tall, that thing must also be short. If you find something that's here, that thing must also be there. If you find something that's on your left, that thing must also be on the right. Why? Equal and opposites of duality must exist simultaneously as one. Perspective determines whether something is tall or short. Perspective determines whether a human being is beautiful or ugly. From one perspective, you are tall. From another perspective, you are short. From one perspective, you're in the future. From another perspective, we're in the past. From one perspective, you're standing right there. From another perspective, you're standing right here. From your perspective, you will always be standing right here. From another person's perspective, you will be standing right there instead. From one perspective, you're standing on the left. From a different perspective, you're standing on the right. From one perspective, you're moving. From another perspective, you're standing still. From one perspective, the earth is moving. From another perspective, the earth is standing still. From the perspective of people on planet Earth, the earth is standing still. From the perspective of people on the moon, the earth is always moving. From the perspective of the sun is standing still. The world is the one that's moving around it. It is not the sun that's moving. It is the very world itself. From the perspective of people living on Earth, it's the equal and opposite. The world is moving around the Earth, including the sun. Earth is the one that's standing still instead. That's how this world works. This is a world of duality, a world of equal and opposites. And if you see someone who's beautiful, they're only beautiful from your perspective, From a different person's perspective, they are ugly. Beauty isn't isn't an objective fact. It is subjective. It is based off perspective. From one perspective, you're beautiful. From another perspective, you're ugly. From the perspective of humans, the human body is perfect. It is beautiful. From the perspective of animals, the human body is ugly. Humans are ugly creatures. When you see that animal, there are insects in this world, right? When you zoom in on these insects using some sort of microscope, right? They look so ugly and disgusting from up close. Guess what? Many animals see humans just like that, as the most disgusting and ugliest creature in the world. Yet from our perspective, the human body is perfect. It is beautiful. It is a masterpiece. But because it's a masterpiece from our perspective, the equal and opposite perspective must also be true. We are the ugliest creatures in the world. Nothing about us is beautiful to animals. To some animals, looking at us is no different from looking at the devil himself, the most ugliest demonic creature in the world. But that's how this world of duality works. So while you're chasing after people who think, if you're someone who's compare yourself to others, you think they look better than you. That's only from your perspective. From a different perspective, they are very, very ugly. And it's from a different human perspective as well. If a bunch of humans find you beautiful, a bunch of humans will also find you ugly. And if a bunch of humans find you ugly, there are people in this world, humans in this world, who will find you as the most beautiful person in the world. Both opposites must exist simultaneously as one. Every human is both ugly and beautiful. Every human is both a 10 out of 10 and a 0 out of 10 at the same time. We don't have a choice in that matter. If you hang around people who call you ugly, it's not because you're ugly. It's because they don't like you. If you hang around people who call you ugly, even if you are ugly to them, it doesn't mean you're ugly to everyone else. Hang around people who like you. Stop hanging around people who hate you. Your life will never be happy if you keep hanging around people who disrespect you and who treat you badly. There are people in this world, regardless of what person they are, who will find them 100% attractive, regardless of how ugly they are to you. Just because someone looks ugly to you does not mean they're ugly to everyone else. And just because someone looks beautiful to you does not mean they're beautiful to everyone else. What you consider ugly is someone's very, very beautiful. One man's trash is another man's treasure. That's how this world works. It's a world of duality. Not everyone, many people believe that being, having a lot of money, right? If you're someone who gets jealous of people with money, you think having a lot of money will make you happy. It won't. Wealth and poverty are equal and opposite. And the key term is equal and opposite, meaning both aspects suffer just the same, just for equal and opposite reasons. Just like people who are beautiful and ugly. A person who's beautiful suffers just as much as someone who's ugly, because they are equal and opposites. And the key term is equal, meaning a beautiful person will suffer just for being beautiful. Being beautiful makes people look down on you. There are a lot of people who will look down on you just for being beautiful, just for being attractive. They'll start to think you're an airhead, a fool, a dum-dum, just for being beautiful. There are people who will get so jealous of you that they'll try to harm you just for being beautiful. There will always be positive aspects of beauty and negative aspects of beauty. And there'll be the same amount, meaning there'll be just as many benefits of being beautiful as there are downsides of it. And there'll be just as many downsides of being ugly as there are upsides, benefits of it. These two terms are equal and opposite, and they exist simultaneously as one as well. And because they're equal, whether you're beautiful, whether you're attractive, or you're ugly, the world will be exactly the same to you. There will be people who like you and people who will hate you. And they'll hate you for equal and opposite reasons. The reason why I hate someone who's attractive may not be the same reason why I hate someone who's ugly. You hate someone who's attractive because they're attractive, because you're jealous. If you hate someone who's ugly, it's because you guys don't like the way they look. Equal and opposite reasons. But the hate is still there. Whether you're good looking or you're ugly, you'll be hated. And you'll also be loved. These two terms are equal and opposites. These two aspects of life are equal and opposites. And they are equal. Being attractive doesn't make you a god in this world. And being ugly doesn't make you the devil. Being attractive doesn't make life better for you. And being ugly doesn't make life worse for you. These two terms are equal and opposites. Same with wealth. Being rich doesn't make life automatically better for you. Because rich folks have their own problems. And being poor doesn't make life worse for you. Because poor folks also have their own problems. And being rich doesn't make life worse for you either. Because there are benefits to wealth. And being poor doesn't make life, bad for you either. Because there are benefits to poverty. The benefits to being poor and their downsides to being poor. The benefits to being rich and their downsides to being rich. And the benefits and downsides always even out. Whether you're rich or poor, there'll be as much benefits for being rich as there are benefits for being poor. There'll be as much detriments for being rich as there are detriments for being poor. But there'll be equal and opposites. The benefits of being rich, everyone talks about the benefits. And that's the dangers of this world. People only see one aspect of being rich. They never see the downsides of it. They only see the upsides. But they never see the downsides. And there are just as many downsides as there are for being poor. Meaning, if you see all the downsides of poor people, and it seems very, very bad, guess what? Rich folks experience exactly the same thing, but the equal and opposite version. Their lives are just as bad as the poor person's. But you never see that aspect of it until you become rich. That's when you realize that you don't get any benefits. There's no real benefits. It evens out. The benefits and downsides evens out, whether you're rich or poor, whether you're tall or short, whether you're large or small. The benefits and downsides of all opposites evens out. Whether you're beautiful or you're ugly, the benefits of both sides even out. So if you're someone who keeps chasing after things that don't benefit you, if you're someone who just gets egged on to do things that harm you, robbing a store, robbing banks for money, you don't know the downsides of wealth. You don't know the downsides of wealth. You only get taught, you only get told about the upsides. You never get told about the downsides. You know, there's so many people, there's so many, what do you call them? There's so many people who do drugs, who sell drugs, that only mention the upsides of the drugs they sell. They never mention the downsides. That's how it is with with people who chase after wealth. People who chase after wealth will always tell you all the upsides of wealth. Just like someone who wants to sell you a drug will only tell you the upsides of the drug they're trying to sell you. They never tell you the fact that the drug itself could kill you, could give you cancer, stroke, heart attack, and all these other diseases. They never mention the downsides of it. They only mention the upsides. And that's why you need to be careful, in life, is that the grass is not always greener on the other side. No, the grass always evens out. The grass on your side evens out with the grass on the other side. They're always equal and opposites. It may look better, but it may not be as better as you think it is. The only way to truly enjoy life in this world is to be content with what you have. If you're not content with what you have, if you keep chasing after what other people have, then you only see the upsides of what other people have. You never see their downsides. You never see the downside of what they have, because either you're too gullible, or you desire so much that you never think about the consequences of your actions. Because when you desire something, you never truly think about the consequences of it. You never truly think about the downsides of it. And everything has downsides. Just how this world of duality works. There will always be upsides and downsides to everything you do in this world. Benefits and consequences. So be very careful when you're chasing after others. Be very careful, when you desire what someone else has, because you never see the downsides of what they have, and there will always be downsides to what they have. If you chase after what someone else has, whether it's wealth or it's poverty, there are people in this world who think poor people are happier, and some poor people are. The only poor people who will be happy are those who are content with what they have. Because if you can't be content with what you have in life, you will never be happy, whether you're rich or poor. You just can't. Contentment is where you find happiness. If you can't appreciate what God has given you in this world, you will never be happy. You must be happy with what God has given you. You must be happy with what this world has provided for you. What God has provided for you. If you keep chasing after what other people have without seeing the consequences of it, one of these days you will get what they have. And then you realize that it may be worse than what you have. The consequences of of what they have may be something you're not used to. Something that's a deal breaker. Something that'll ruin your life completely. The consequences of your life, the downsides of your life, you've already seen it. You've experienced it. That's why you're running away from it. But be careful where you run to. If you compare yourself to others and you only see the benefits of being like them, one of these days you'll get exactly what they have. All the downsides of what they have in life, all the downsides of their life, you start to experience all the downsides of their life. You may not like that experience. And chances are it'll be worse than the experience that you have. Because you're already used to the downsides of your life. You're not used to the downsides of theirs. You don't know their life. You only see the upsides of it. You don't see the consequences of living that life. And there are consequences of living their life. Whether they're beautiful or rich, whether they're ugly or poor, there are consequences to living their life. If you're someone who's not wise enough to realize that, this is a world where There are always downsides to everything. One of these days, you may end up regretting every single decision you've made in life. You will spend your entire life chasing after exactly what you don't want, something you're not used to, major downsides that you're not used to in life. And these downsides could ruin your life overnight. That's why you have to be very careful in life. You have to be very careful. There will always be downsides to everyone's life. Stop looking at only the upsides of their lives. They will always have downsides as well. And those downsides, the downsides you've never been used to. You don't know their life, so you don't know the downsides of their life. Your mind may not be capable of handling the downsides of their life. The consequences of living their life the way they do. Your mind and body may not be capable of handling it. You could break from it. You're already used to your life. You're already used to the downsides of your life. If you chase after the downside of someone else's life, and it's far too hard to handle, well, it's a choice that you made in life. You chose what you hated. You spent your entire life chasing exactly what you hated. Major consequences, major downsides that will ruin your life. So stop compare yourself to others. There are upsides to living your life and downsides to living your life. And there are also upsides to living their lives and downsides to it. This is a world of duality, That's what you need to be careful of. If you're someone who wants the whole world to be, peaceful, right? The whole world can never truly be peaceful. Why? Because the moment you achieve true peace, the word peace no longer has meaning. That's how this world works. If everything is tall, nothing will be tall. That's how duality works. If everything shares an aspect, nothing shares that aspect anymore. That aspect disappears. If everything in this world is tall, nothing will be tall. If everything in this world is short, nothing will be short from then on. If everything in this world is small at the same size, nothing in this world will be small. If everything in this world is large, nothing will be large. If nothing in this world moves, non-movement will mean nothing. Everything in this world will be moving. The only reason you experience movement is because there are things in this world that do not move. The only reason the only reason we experience non-movement is because there are things in this world that moves. The only reason you know what peace is because there's violence. The only reason why you know what violence means is because there's peace. If everyone in this world is rich, nobody will be rich. If everyone in this world is poor, nobody will be poor. If everyone in this world is beautiful, nobody will be beautiful. If everyone in this world is ugly, nobody will be ugly. This is how this world of duality works. If you spend your entire life chasing world peace, just know that the moment this world becomes peaceful, nothing will be peaceful. We'll find a new problem to solve. That's how this world works. When everything shares the same quality, that quality disappears. When everything shares the same aspect, that aspect disappears. Because everything in this world is God. That's why you don't see God anywhere. And God is everything. So stop chasing after what other people have. Stop running around in circles chasing world peace. Because the moment the whole world is peaceful, nothing will be peaceful. Stay away from violence. Stay away from harming others. There's many people chasing after world peace, trying to harm others. You're chasing after world peace by killing others. Isn't that contradictory? So if you're someone who wants world peace anyways, just be kind to others, read your Bible, and avoid sin. That's how you get peace. If you can be peaceful in your life, the world will be at peace. The more you go towards heaven, the more peaceful the world will be to you. God protects those who are kind and virtuous. And God lets those who are evil and violent face the consequences of their actions. You reap what you sow in this world. If you want peace, start with yourself. Be more peaceful. Be more kind to others. And avoid sinners. Avoid violent people. Avoid people that mock you. Avoid people that insult you. Avoid people that bully you. And avoid chasing after what other people have. You can be peaceful while chasing after what other people have. Peace comes when you're content with life. When you're content with what God has given you, God will be happy for you. And God will bring more things to your life that you like. That's how this world of duality works. The more you chase after world peace, the more you bring harm to the world. The more you chase after self-peace, the more you bring peace to the world. Because the world is you, and you are the world. God is omnipresent. God is everything, including you and the world. So, as you chase after heaven or self-peace, the world will be more peaceful for you. And heaven starts, the road towards heaven starts with contentment. You must be content with what God is giving you first. You must be happy with what God has given you first. If you can't be happy with what God has given you, guess what? This is a world of duality. The more you chase after what other people have, the more you gain their downsides. You only see the upsides of hell. You never see the downsides of it. So if you keep chasing after what other people have, you will keep chasing after hell instead of heaven. If you keep chasing after what you have, if you keep being grateful, being thankful for what you have, what God has given you, the more you chase after heaven. Thank God, pray to God, and love yourself. Because when you love yourself, you're loving God. When you trust yourself, you're trusting God. When you value yourself, you're valuing God. Because God is omnipresent. God is you as well. Love yourself, trust yourself, believe in yourself, and God will always be with you. And God will always protect you. Amen.